It's the only show in the world that's held in the lobby. You know, it's a bit like, isn't it, having friends to your house and giving them dinner in the hall. Of course, it's the modern, open plan idea, isn't it? It's a bit Scandinavian. It's the latest idea, or it was. I've got some guests on the show. As you know, I'm not just a pretty face. I'm not just an old housewife, an emancipated Melbourne mother, but I'm a raunchy, spunky old megastar, and I'm pretty across the board and up front in my tastes. And my group, I've always thought of them as my group, is of course Dr. Hook. And what a single. Let's hear it for Dr. Hook. Hello, darlings. Yes, it's Dennis the Courier and it's Ray Sawyer, who are the powers that be, the Deus Ex Machinas of that beautiful group.
It seems to be a theme show today. Women in prison, and then women knitting, and now whatever this is.
We'll tie it in somewhere.
Yes. I'm sure we'll all be in prison right after.
We will, but, you know, I suppose it's therapy. If we were sent to jail, you'd be making music and I'd be knitting.
That's true, that's true.
Keep our hands busy anyway. I think, however, I'm looking now at a bit of vinyl that's going to be platinum. I think it'll go platinum.
Do you? You think it's going to go?
Is that the expression?
Yes.
I think it's going to go.
Without too much hype?
I think it'll be a bullet. I do. You know, Dr. Hook, Dennis and Ray and me are going to be at the Odeon in Birmingham tonight. And they're, of course, on one of their tours. I suppose you live out of suitcases, fellows, do you?
Yeah, we do. That's why it's important for us to learn to knit. Because you never know when you have to make something to wear tonight, you know.
And who irons your beautiful satin trousers?
Dennis. So I never have time to iron my own. I'm too busy doing his.
No, but I love your style. I
Thank
really
you.
do.
We haven't seen you in a while. You look really good.
I'm looking pretty gorgeous,
Yeah,
aren't I? Pretty spunky and up front.
Yeah. But next to you two, though, I feel really drab.
No, it's the informal look. I don't think it's a lunchtime show, after all.
That's true.
I'm sure you'd put on a tie if it was the evening. But let me give your little record a hype as though it needs it.
Okay.
Or single, I should say. I nearly used an old-fashioned expression, record. Crazy Rosie, I think, is the B-side, and on the A-side, it's Rings.
Yes.
They're not on an album yet. They're just a single.
The album won't be out till we brought you our current album, which has been out about 2 years.
Players in the Dark. I've worn mine out.
Have you?
I've worn
there's another one.
Oh, Players
This one's
in the
worth
Dark.
more. We haven't signed it.
Lovely. It's the unsigned Dr. Hook records that are rare. I'd love you to sign it. We might need a knitting needle dipped in Nivea cream to write on this. This, of course, has got the turn-on Lady Sundown. I can't say no to her, which I love. It's almost on the tip of my tongue. Let's hear a little bit. Can you sing us a little bit from this new single?
I have a guitar I've been knitting.
You know. What will you give us?
We can give you just a little bit. You don't want to give it away.
Remember, this isn't exactly like the record. This is an exclusive Pebble Mill, listeners.
Ready?
And viewers.
Ready. You ready for me? Oh, you're waiting for me. You're going to play those? Okay. Ring, ring, telephone ring. Somebody says, hey, baby, what you doing? Oh, yeah. I've been wondering where you've been. Now and then I think about you and me. Oh, yeah. No need fighting about things we can't recall. It don't matter now at all, no. Come on home, pretty baby, we'll laugh and sing. We'll make love and let the telephone ring. Watch your dress, your dress. Ring, ring, doorbell ring, baby, come on in. I got Dame Edna on the stereo. Oh, yeah. I'm glad you came around. I've been feeling down, talking to Tony and Mario. Oh, yeah. You know they make good conversation. Still, it ain't much consolation, no. 'Cause I got love, honey, baby, I'll give you some. If somebody comes, we let the doorbell ring. Wait, we better. I don't believe. We played all over the world. I don't believe I've ever seen anyone get worked up like that.
Look, I was really freaking and grooving.
I know. I was afraid to go on. I was afraid we'd hurt you.
What I love about Dr. Hook is that, of course, they're crossover artists. That's a musical expression. It's not a medical term, but it means really that they appeal to such a broad spectrum of people, a little bit like me. I look into my audience.
Crossover, right?
Yes, and I see mohawks in the audience, you know, those people with the pink hair, and I see bank managers, and it's lovely. I think it's a very nice... You don't have to be middle of the road to be a crossover artist.
No, you don't. But speaking of middle of the road, there's a guy. Who is this guy? He's been watching the whole show.
I think...
He doesn't have a TV. He watches it from here, but he only... This guy... You know, this guy here recognizes... He's famous because he recognizes celebrities from the back. Always. He's really good at that.
He's spooky, isn't he?
Yeah. He's got a camera with a zoom lens,
Do you think he might be a spy?
I think so.
He could be a mole.
He may think this is a zoo.
Well, boys, that's beautiful, that little preview. And, of course, I've heard Crazy Rosie. Remind me just of the theme of it.
Okay, ready? This is a song that was part of Ray's solo career a few years ago. And this song went by the boards, and we're trying to make everybody know it again. Ready? Yeah. They called Rosie a lady till she had the baby. Then they called Rosie crazy, but she don't care at all. She sits rocking and singing, Crazy Rosie's singing.
Oh, lovely.
She don't say nothing, she just sits and rocks her doll.
Poor Crazy Rosie.
She was going again. Yeah. She was ready to go.
Poor little girl, she's probably in Borstal now. It's my very great privilege to introduce Donnie. Come on, Donnie, darling.
Yeah.
Thank you, sweetheart.
All right.
Donnie, aren't they gorgeous?
Excellent. It's nice of you to put us together.
Donnie, how's Shirley, your wife?
Oh, Shirley's very well, thank
She's
you.
lovely. You still commuting from Aberdeen?
Still doing that, yes.
And your dog called Delius.
That's right.
Is that named after Frederick Delius, who was the composer of yesteryear?
This man's this is amazing. Dame Edna is the best informed lady in the land. How do you know my dog was...
Well, I do a bit of homework, and I think it pays off. I think the viewers adore me because I'm involved. I don't just drift along, and it's like you. You know, I've seen other... Well, they're not a group, they're more than that. But I've seen people coming to TV studios, they just pop in, the Rolls Royce is waiting, and they whisk away. These boys were here, getting involved, getting into it, eating the food, using the gents. I saw them there, popping in.
I noticed, too, that they've been reading your book, The Bedside Companion, Dame Edna.
Must we promote it? Yes.
Yes.
Why not? Look at them. I need to write in that book for my darlings, Ray and Dennis.
Will you really?
You autographed mine with a knitting needle, darling.
Scratch it.
What did surprise me, Dame Edna, is that you... And in some ways it didn't surprise me, because in the book you claim to be a very private person.
I am a very private person, and I managed to disclose the secrets of my bedchamber, Ray, without getting yucky. I do. And yet I get intimate. I do. I'm writing love to Ray.
This is really good. I learned something. I turned to this first page and I learned something here. It says, before sleeping in a strange bed, do you A, check out the sheets, B, apply mild aerosol disinfectant, or C, forswear fastidiousness and snuggle in?
And which do you do?
Every night I sleep in a strange bed. We live in hotels, so I do all of these.
You do all of
A bit of
these?
disinfecting?
Yeah, a little bit. Not the bed myself.
Not a bad idea.
So there you are.
This is, I think, a book that I'm hoping will be a very, well, it could be a platinum book.
It could be.
It could be. I'd like you to set it to music. Wouldn't it be beautiful? What an LP that would make.
Have you ever written any songs?
Well, I've written a song about a wombat, which is an Australian marsupial. It's called Wombats Never Forget.
Is it a song or a poem?
I can't remember. No, I can't. I couldn't equal these musicians. I'm strictly, you know, I'm not a singer really, though I do sing.
You don't want to try? You want to try this? I mean, I do have this.
Dan's good at company.
I do have this. I mean, I can just. You want something like.
Well, I have to work further on the lyric, darling. I'm getting all shy now, darling.
Poetry does play quite a large part in this book. You do have quite a lot of really rather nice mantras, you call some of them, don't you?
Mantras, a megastar's mantra. Look, there are lots of things. There's etiquette, too, for people in bed. You know, if you're overnighting with a slumber chum and his or her bedside phone rings, don't be tempted to answer it, even with an assumed voice. Isn't that good?
Yes, everybody listening to that? Yes.
And, don't read funny things in bed. There's nothing more irritating than trying to sleep while your chumber-slum cackles and falls about laughing. There's lots of things of this kind, but I think above all it's a good idea. It'll help people keep their fingers above the bedclothes in the cold winter evenings. Aren't you reading themselves to sleep with my book?
I noticed that you have visited Windsor to take the wombat for a walk in the grounds.
Oh, yes, there's a lovely picture of me
it really
here.
is.
Can the camera see that?
I'm sure it can, because...
Look, that's me walking my wombat at Windsor.
With your sensible shoes on.
And can you see the Queen's home in the background?
That's great. Lovely. There is a theme of royalty throughout the book. I mean, do you find it difficult to come down to speak to ordinary mortals?
No, I don't, because I don't think of Doctor Who as ordinary mortals. I do mingle with a lot of famous people, but I think I've always maintained a very egalitarian attitude. Is that too long a word for this time in the day? And I don't seem to talk down to people, even
me.
Even you, Donny, darling, but I adore you.
But there is an essential democracy about Australians, isn't there? I mean, they can mix with the common herd very easily.
Well, you've been to Australia and been very successful.
Yeah, the Australians are really, they know what they have. They like the country. I mean, it's the only place in the world where if you say, it's good here, they say, yeah, it is, isn't it? Instead of finding some reason it's not.
Isn't that nice, yes. Do you find that? I mean...
Well, I don't apologise for my background. I know a lot of people think that I'm English because of my accent. I don't have a trace of an Australian accent. But I am an Australian, and I'm very proud of my roots there. And I've brought something, I think, in my visits to England, some little bit of warmth, some little bit of... Perhaps I'm a bit...
You got it through customs, eh?
I managed to smuggle it through customs.
All right. Okay.
And I didn't have any little midnight callers either. However...
Do you find, I always used to find a slightly patronising feeling about when you talked about us in the old days. I know you used to send food parcels to us.
Yes, well, I sent food parcels to England right up until 1978.
You did?
I did, you know, lovely scrummy lamingtons and cakes and things like that.
Do you find us still rather like that we're still in need of food parcels?
No, I don't. I think there's been a big upsurge, and I think I've never seen such prosperous and well-fed people in my life since I came back to Birmingham.
Now, why do you think that is?
I don't know what the secret of your waistline is, Donny, but I'm sure we'd all like to know.
This brings me on to something, because a lot of ladies have this mistaken idea that Australian women do get a bit puckered because of the sun. But you have the complexion of an 18-year-old. How do you do it?
Well, I use the fisherman's facial, and you could use... Well, it's almost too late for you to use that. But I mean, this is a lovely idea. I mean, anyone with half an eye can see... Oh, I'm sorry, Ray. Tasteless.
She's after me now. Now she's getting you. Get the needle.
That's one for the record, that show. I hope you cut that out of the transmission. I keep my face... Have you ever seen a fish with dry skin? Answer me that.
No.
Have you?
No.
Now, what is the secret of a fish's skin? A girlfriend of mine was once nibbled by a shark in Sydney, and you know, she came out of the water. Well, she hobbled out of the water with beautiful skin. Fish have enzymes in them. Do you know I sleep with a lot of whitebait all over my sellotaped, all over my face, and a bit of octopus round my neck? I do. In the morning you can fry it all up. It's absolutely you can. But you know, look, that's the reason I'm not puckered. Because crepey.
There is in the book here an illustration. Could you find it? Because it's the most extraordinary picture
I think
I've ever seen where you're covered with fish.
Oh, it's in the book?
Oh, it's in the book.
Oh,
it's one of the most...
4 people might find it.
I mean...
That's right. Let's all look.
Here it is, yes. Now, this is
me with the facial on in the morning.
Now, Matisse would be proud of that. I mean, look at that. That's the light.
Now, I slept with all this fish on.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Like a Japanese restaurant.
There's a lot of caviar, too, under my glasses. A sturgeon a day keeps the cosmetic surgeon away.
Well, you can see just how efficacious it is, because wouldn't you agree? I mean, she does have the complexion of a 17-year-old.
I think we've promoted my book enough, Donny.
Indeed. Well, what happens after this? Where do you go after the best-selling author bit? What then?
Well, after that, I have to go back to Australia because I have to spend a little time with my husband. He's not been well since you asked about him last. He's, if anything, deteriorated. Poor darling. I'm lucky in a way that I can laugh at other people's misfortunes, aren't I?
Indeed you are.
It's a gift. Isn't it a gift?
Will we see you anywhere else? I mean, are you leaving England
He's
right
had
away?
a prostate transplant, I can tell you.
Are you,
well, ladies and gentlemen, it's very sad to bring this to an end. We have so many stars.
Well,
and
we
I
could
think
go on talking.
at
What
the
I
end-
wanted to ask.
Can we invite you? Listen, we want you
I
to
think
come.
we should
You
have a
gonna be in
round of
London?
applause
Can-
for
were you
our
doing
unknown
Wembley?
star.
What's the
This
date?
chap
The
out here.
18th?
Shall we?
17th and the
The big
18th.
star of the
I'll
show.
be Wembley.
Has nothing
Wembley,
to
the
us.
17th and the 18th. For Dr. Hook.
Right.
Don't
And
forget
shall we have a big round of applause
We'll
for
be
Fred
great.
out
Oh,
here?
yes, and our star. He'll be opening for us. We're going to support us.
Join us tomorrow. Goodbye from home.